Edmonton. Local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Good evening. 2 local daycare workers have been charged with assaulting 3 toddlers in their care. Back in March, we heard from a mother who said her son had been assaulted at Little Stars Daycare in Spruce Grove. She says she was alerted by the daycare's management and shown video footage. RCMP say they've identified 3 victims between the ages of 1 and 3 years old. A total of 6 charges have been laid against 2 people. 32-year-old Dimpy Bawa is facing 2 counts of assault with a weapon and 2 counts of assault. 29-year-old Shivani is facing 2 counts of assault. RCMP say investigators combed through about 200 surveillance videos.
When conducting this type of investigation, you always have to look at Section 43 of the Criminal Code, which is kind of nicknamed the spanking bylaw. So it protects parents and any kind of caregiver from using force to a certain extent. And it's our allegation here, after conducting this investigation, that what we witnessed is beyond what 43 covers as far as disciplinary action.
Police say the accused were let go from the daycare when the investigation began, and the daycare has been cooperating with the investigation. A 9-year-old girl is dead after being hit by a truck in Spruce Grove. RCMP say the collision happened just before 9 this morning on Hartwick Manor. Officers believe the girl was sitting on a skateboard that was rolling off a driveway when she was hit. She was taken to hospital with critical injuries where she later died. No charges have been laid. Alberta's police watchdog says 4 RCMP officers shot at a man in a secure parking lot at the police detachment in Sherwood Park last week. The Alberta Serious Incident Response Team says the officer's shots struck the man several times. RCMP say he showed up in the parking lot with what appeared to be a gun. A-Search shared a photo of a BB gun found at the scene. It will investigate the officer's use of force. A-Search says the man who was shot remains in hospital. He is expected to survive. Alberta Health is reporting 35 new cases of measles since Friday, with 4 of them in the Edmonton zone. That brings the total number of measles cases in Edmonton since the start of the measles outbreak to 23. Province-wide, there's a total of 1,691 cases. The majority of those cases are in the south zone of Alberta. Ottawa says if the current chain of transmission continues beyond October, Canada could lose its elimination status. The elimination status was achieved in 1998 when Canada became free of endemic measles. Canvassers are going door to door to ask for signatures on a petition trying to ensure Alberta stays in Canada.
You know, Albertans are proud Canadians. Albertans consider themselves Canadians first, and for a variety of reasons.
The group, known as Forever Canadian, gathered in Old Strathcona Saturday to start collecting signatures. The petition calls for a referendum on the question, do you agree that Alberta should remain in Canada? The province's chief electoral officer issued the petition last week. The group must now collect nearly 294,000 signatures before it can be filed with Elections Alberta.
This is not about politics. You know, we may differ on policies and we can squabble over things, but when it comes to being proud of being Canadian, we're all on the same team and we're all working together.
Canvassers have until October 28th to collect the required number of signatures. Space for new housing is a contentious issue in Edmonton. A local group says the solution could already be in our skyline. It plans to undertake a radical reinvention of a downtown building, adding amenities and converting floors of unused office space into housing. CTV's Connor Hogg takes us on a tour.
Its new owner is the first to admit 10405 Jasper Avenue isn't the most memorable of Edmonton's skyscrapers.
It's super prominent, but it's never been a building that people have paid a lot of attention to because it's usually accommodated larger office tenants and a collection of medical tenants.
It was built in the 70s when demand for downtown office space was booming. Today, the former Standard Life Centre sits half empty. Its new owner says soon that will change.
Food hall, we're looking into pickleball court, basketball court. We've got golf simulators coming. We've got event space. We've got a rooftop patio restaurant that we're standing on right now.
Leader Investments bought the building for $12.5 million. It plans to convert the top half of the tower from empty boardrooms to residential units, with young professionals and students as the target demographics. About half of the building will remain office space.
Creating more housing opportunities with all the different sizes and scales is important for the downtown ecosystem, and this building, based on its location, is like right in the heart of all the social part of downtown.
These are great opportunities to add that vibrancy, to make use of vacant space, and just add more life to the downtown.
Ward O'Dayman councillor Ann Stevenson says private projects like these are good for everyone because they increase density downtown with fewer startup costs.
The great thing about office conversions, for example, is we don't have any new roads to plow. We don't have any new transit service we need to provide. We don't have any new parks that we need to build. They're already all here.
The city offers several grants to support conversion projects like this. Those are still in the works. What is ironed out now is the name, the standard.
We truly hope that we can add something that people look to as like a part of the solution and bringing more people back to downtown.
Leader is hoping to have permits by next year. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
About 150 people in Thorhild County are dealing with little to no cell service nearly 2 months after a cell tower there was vandalized. Businesses in the area are still paying their phone bills while finding other ways to connect with customers and operate day to day. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
So we have the regular Cobra greenhouse tomato.
Wendy Erdman and her husband Ron have been growing veggies for more than 40 years.
I worked for him in 1984, and here I am today, still working, not getting paid.
The Erdmans may be working, but their cell phones are not. About 6 weeks ago, they suddenly lost cell service.
Both noticed our phones went to SOS.
Most times they still have one bar, but calls don't go through and texts are delayed. Their home phone is still set up, but Erdman says most calls are considered long distance.
10 cents a minute, you know, phoning these customers back, and where we used to be able to call them on the cell phone and you can phone nationwide.
This is what's been causing all the issues. You should be looking at a 106-meter tall cell tower behind me right now, but it was knocked over on June 14th. Police say the vandals took a bunch of copper wiring from the down tower. The damage estimated at $800,000. TELUS says the replacement should be up sometime in September. The lack of connectivity has been a struggle at nearby Moosewood Acres, too. Owner Christina Krause is now paying Starlink $150 a month so she has enough internet to accept non-cash payments. She's also still paying TELUS through her mobile contract.
They're still not really willing to work with you or compensate you for it, because it wasn't failure of their product.
TELUS says it's adjusting other towers nearby to provide the area with as much coverage as possible. It is not obligated to compensate customers for the outage, but that could change in the future. The CRTC is contemplating adding the scenario to its Consumer Protections Action Plan. In the meantime, people out here are making do.
You can't get a call out. There's a spot in the middle of the field that works.
In Thorhild County, Jeremy Thompson, CTV News.
Hundreds of kids are spending their summer downtown for a weekly day camp hosted by the YMCA and the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation. Kids are getting the chance to play hockey, basketball, yard games, and other activities at Fan Park and Ice District. The camps will be held every Tuesday until August 19th, and organizers expect more than 900 kids to come take part. Oilers mascot Hunter the Lynx, along with some Oilers alumni, are also expected to drop by. This is the first year the two organizations are hosting these day camps.
We all feel the Oilers fever here in town. Our kiddos are such big fans of the team. They love Hunter. You know, during the playoffs, our campers, when they're in our programs or through our childcare spaces, you know, they celebrate, they dress up. This is just such a great synergy, and we were hearing all week how excited they were about coming down. So this is really great.
The YMCA is running a campaign to send 500 kids in need to camp this summer. Malls will soon be buzzing with back-to-school shoppers. While the start of a new school year can be expensive, two new initiatives are underway to make sure every kid is fully equipped. CTV's Nara Manisa has the details.
We are hoping to pack this backpack with new or unused school supplies in support of students this fall.
At Kingsway Mall, the Edmonton Public Schools Foundation is asking shoppers to pack the pack.
When students can, start the year feeling prepared, they'll be a lot more confident in their learning, more excited for school.
The backpack features an opening where shoppers can drop off new or unopened school supplies. Some of the most in-demand items include
But things like duotangs, notebooks, highlighters, pencil crayons.
The supplies will be handed out to schools and given to students as needed.
We do hear from our school principals and teachers that this is a significant need.
The drive for school supplies is also happening at West Edmonton Mall. It's hoping to collect 1,000 items to fill this Volkswagen van. The supplies will be given to the Bent Arrow Traditional Healing Society.
Their Family Resource Network has been serving Indigenous children and families for over 30 years. So we're really proud to be able to highlight that community resource.
According to shopping lists for some Edmonton public schools, kids in elementary and junior high could be spending between $50 to $100 for a basic supply list.
So the need just kind of keeps increasing, and our goal here is just to be able to respond positively to students who do need that extra support in school supplies and say, don't worry, we've got you.
You can find the backpack at Kingsway Mall on the main level near the southwest entrance. The West Edmonton Mall van is located near Bourbon Street. Naram Nisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
From Edmonton into orbit, a team at the University of Alberta is sending its studies to space. As CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti explains, a part of you can go along for the ride.
And lift off. Go Falcons, go into ignition.
Your name could be aboard a Falcon 9 rocket. Students at the University of Alberta are creating a satellite that will hitch a ride to space.
We go on a rideshare program, so there's probably 60 or 50 other satellites about this size that are also paying to be on the rocket.
They're building the X-Alta 3.
It'll house a student-built imager that we developed for climate change research.
X-Alta 3 will orbit Earth and monitor ice and snow coverage in Canada and contribute to wildfire research.
The Canadian government especially is looking into more ways to support climate change research. We know that wildfires are a hot-button issue for a lot of Albertan communities.
The X-Alta 3 project will cost $500,000. Part of the crowdfunding campaign includes inviting donors to be a part of the mission through this small chip.
A chip will be affixed like that, and we'll send it to space so your name gets to come with us.
You can pay $100 for one name or $200 for 3. While the satellite is only the size of a loaf of bread, it packs a punch.
But it contains everything. So you have your computer in here, your power. The only thing not pictured on here is some of the surface components.
The students will have their names hidden within the circuits and other components, but it's building X-Alt 3 that makes them excited to launch their careers.
Sending actual hardware that I've designed into space was always a long-term goal for far in the future when I was in my late 20s or 30s or even older.
This is the first opportunity I've ever had to actually participate in a real space mission.
X-Alta 3 will blast off next summer. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up next on CTV News, tourists turned away why a national park in Alberta had to deny some visitors this weekend. Also just ahead, Go for the Gophers, a mini museum still popping with visitors despite problems with its building.
It is indeed a museum. It does tell the history of this community. We just do it in a very different way.
Good evening, folks. Another warm one today. We got up to 28 degrees for a daytime high. Should be in the mid to upper 20s again tomorrow. But some more scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast over the next few days, and a cool down for Thursday, Friday. All those details in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A hole-in-the-wall attraction in central Alberta has been drawing thousands of people to a tiny hamlet every year for nearly 30 years. Tonight, we have more on the museum using taxidermy to tell the tale of Torrington.
We've been for 3 years talking about this place.
If you end up in the hamlet of Torrington, Tom and Karen have a recommendation for you.
It's a very unique thing. I mean, I don't know how many Gopher museums there are in the world, but certainly there aren't a lot.
Just the craftsmanship of the whole thing, it was amazing.
The Gopher Hole Museum features 44 displays with more than 80 ground squirrels, each one dressed up and decked out as a tribute to Torrington's story.
It is indeed a museum. It does tell the history of this community. We just do it in a very different way. Specifically in the prairie provinces, there's all these little towns that used to be something that are suddenly nothing. And that's just part of society today. It's really important to represent what used to be here.
Laurel Curtis says her parents in the community opened the museum 29 years ago.
I swore I'd never have anything to do with this museum.
That was 5 years ago. She's been the museum's director ever since and says 15,000 people visit between May and October every year.
This has been on my list of things to do in the Alberta prairies. This is iconic Alberta. You definitely want to come here.
Curtis says they receive most of their subjects from farmers who are protecting their crops. While some people may find it cruel, visitors love it.
It's so cute.
It's amazing. The artwork is wonderful.
Everyone has their favorite.
The RCMP Gopher was probably my favorite.
I loved the hockey and curling scene. I think that was my favorite.
Everybody's favorite gopher is this silly little angel that's hanging from the top of the church. Everybody loves him. The fishing one is very popular, and the Serenity Park. So that was a park that actually existed in this town.
Using taxidermy to tell the tale of the little hamlet that was. And the museum says it's been dealing with a wasp and maple bug problem, which is threatening the integrity of the displays in the building. It will stay open to visitors, though, as it continues to search for a new home. It was a busy long weekend for national parks across the province, with many people taking advantage of the free Canada Strong Pass. One park was so busy, tourists had to be turned away. CTV's Carson Marsook reports.
The Heritage Day long weekend is generally one of the busiest for businesses at Waterton Lakes National Park.
It's always the biggest, always the busiest. So we were expecting the big crowds.
But on Sunday, it got a little too busy.
Before lunchtime, the team observed using a traffic model, on-the-ground observations, and an estimate of vehicles in the park overnight. They noted that we were on a very high level of visitation.
At which point, staff made the decision to divert traffic and close the park gate for about 5 hours.
What we observed was congestion on the roadways, both throughout the park to popular places like Red Rock Parkway, Cameron Lake, and through the town site, as well as limited parking availability.
Well, too early to estimate how many people visited Waterton Lakes over the weekend. Business owners say the majority are taking advantage of the federal government's Canada Strong Pass to get in for free.
The amount of local Canadian traffic has spiked very noticeably.
Shamir Suleman says the start to the summer season has been slower than expected due to the rainy forecast, but is anticipating a busy August and fall season.
A busier year than we're used to, not the record-breaking that we thought.
Last year marked the second busiest on record with more than 540,000 visitors. Parks Canada says efforts to raise awareness of trip planning, promoting shorter season and less sensitive areas of the park, and managing crowd sizes are ongoing.
We do post updates on congestion at popular areas throughout the day on weekends, and certainly factor in arriving early.
Carson Marsook, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Ground has broken at the news site for the popular Banff sign. The sign has been welcoming people into the community since 2017. It became so popular with people wanting to stop and take photos, it led to traffic congestion and worries about pedestrian safety. The sign is being moved to a green space near the Banff train station, and it should be ready to go by October. When we return, an all-Indigenous hockey team taking its talents from Alberta to an international competition.
I think it just helps us grow more as a team together, getting to learn our culture together.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. A little bit warmer than the past couple of days. Highs of 25 for Sunday, Monday after a 30-degree day on Saturday. Today we got to 28, 4 degrees warmer than average. Started the day at around 13 degrees. We'll be in the mid-teens, looks like, tomorrow morning here in the Edmonton area. You've got some scattered showers and some isolated thunderstorms through parts of central and north central Alberta. Tomorrow morning, Off to the east and northeast, these are the areas that got hit with thunderstorms this afternoon. In fact, we had some severe thunderstorms in a couple spots off to the east, northeast of Edmonton. You may actually, through the morning hours tomorrow, see a little more of that develop. That'll then push off into east central northeastern Alberta for tomorrow, sort of supper time-ish. Showers and thunderstorms in through the Peace Country tomorrow late afternoon. And for us here in Edmonton, for most of the day, you're looking at partly cloudy to a mix of sun and cloud. But in the evening hours, some of those showers and thunderstorms start to spin their way through. Now, I think the risk for thunderstorms is going to be greatest mid to late evening tomorrow. Once we get into the overnight period, it flips over to a chance of some rain, maybe even some steadier light rain there overnight into Thursday morning. And you can see areas off to the west, northwest of the Edmonton region, which, I mean, there's a lot of areas north of Edmonton that have been bone dry so far this summer. This area in particular could really use some of that rain. So it does look like some of that's coming at least through Thursday morning. May kind of spin, the heaviest of it may spin back into the Peace Country by Thursday afternoon. We get some clearing Thursday afternoon here in Edmonton. And then once this system starts to drag itself off to the southeast, some of that precipitation will wrap back through the Edmonton area on Friday. But is it heavy, steady rain all day? Or is it just kind of hit and miss scattered showers? There's still pretty low confidence on which of those two it'll be. 10 degrees in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, 10 as well in Red Deer. Should be about 15 here in Edmonton, 12 in Grand Prairie. See daytime highs in the mid-20s across most of the north, mid-20s as well for Red Deer tomorrow and here in Edmonton. About 25 or 26 for a daytime high. Closer to 20 for highs Thursday, Friday, and then back into the mid-20s for Saturday and Sunday. That is your forecast.
The Edmonton Heritage Festival has wrapped up its final year on the exhibition grounds. More than 60 pavilions were set up this year, including Somalia and Senegal as new additions. The Togo Pavilion took first place for Best Main in the food category for its plantain and beef skewers.
We make sure we have everything ready that will make everything taste the best. That's what we do. That's Togolese way.
And we have to make our country proud of us.
Organizers say the festival will return to Hawrelak Park next year. A AAA hockey team entirely made up of Indigenous players is overseas for an elite hockey competition. Before they left, the team had a special send-off recognizing their nations and families who worked so hard to make the trip possible. CTV's Connor Hogg has more.
I get to play in Germany. That's a dream come true.
A send-off ceremony unlike many that are held for AAA teams of this caliber, and that's by design. The teammates of the First Nations Voyageurs come from all over Canada to play together, breaking barriers on the world stage.
Elite hockey is crazy expensive, and these guys wanted to ensure that our boys get this exposure.
Julianne Yellowbird is the team's self-described momager.
I'm going to wait for you guys at the airport.
Yellowbird says financial barriers have historically prevented Indigenous players from pursuing hockey. Their nations and sponsors, with the help of fundraisers, are paying this team's way, with players from across the country competing for a spot on the Voyageurs lineup.
Voyageurs on me, Voyageurs on 3. 1, 2, 3, Voyageurs! Combine that athleticism, but not to forget and put in the forefront that identity piece.
Players say the team is about more to them than just hockey.
I didn't really know much about my culture before, but being on this team got me to many powwows, taught me how to drum, sing, and yeah, just a lot of new things.
I just knew we were going to be buds right away, like friends for sure.
Cultural teachings intersecting with elite training.
I think it just helps us grow more as a team together, getting to learn our culture together.
It feels like we're a family and more connected to each other because we know the background that we have come from.
Yellowbird says there is already talk about creating a U18 group next year, as well as an all-girls team, so more young athletes can have the same experience.
It just seems like they found a sense of identity with each other I've never seen a group of boys click so well.
There's a lot of nervousness, but I'm also really excited because I get that exposure and I get to see the world.
The Voyageurs are on their way. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. Have a great night.